Nostradamus predict this? Did he foresee 500 years ago that there will be a novel coronavirus infection which will be spreading throughout the world as a pandemic? Did he know centuries ago that people will be dying of disease in this modern age? Could he see that a huge calamity will be hitting the human race in the year 2020? Hi, I'm Shweta Mishra and I will be analyzing the very mysterious 4 lines or quatrain written by Nostradamus. As we know that this 16th century French astrologer, physician and reputed seer is famous for his predictions. From the end of the world to natural calamities, his predictions are dynamic and mind-boggling. Nostradamus believed that he could predict the future and published his predictions in a book called The Prophecies. At the age of 14, he entered the university to study medicine but was forced to leave after 1 year because of the outbreak of bubonic plague. According to his own account, he traveled throughout the countryside during this time, researching herbal remedies and working. He prepared and sold medicines and drugs. He later became a physician, treating plague victims throughout France and Italy. It is believed he had a psychic awakening, and then he began to practice the occult and make predictions of the future. Most of the quatrains Nostradamus composed during his life dealt with disasters such as plagues, earthquakes, wars, floods, invasions, murders, droughts, and battles. Nostradamus enthusiasts have credited him with predicting numerous events in world history, including the French Revolution, the rise of Napoleon and Hitler, the development of atomic bomb, and the 9/11 terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center. On the evening of 1st of July 1566, he said to his secretary, "You will not find me alive at sunrise." The next morning, he was found dead, lying on the floor next to his bed. Yep, he predicted his death.
So what exactly did Nostradamus write, which we feel could mean, "In the place which has sloping paths, a great calamity will hit the human race. It will have significant impact in the Western countries, giving disastrous effects, particularly in the city of Lombardy, Italy. It will be like plague and shedding, pushing the world in curfews and lockdowns."
He wrote, "The sloping park, great calamity. Through the lens of West and Lombardy, the fire in the ship, plague and captivity. Mercury in Sagittarius, Saturn fading." If you focus on each phrase separately, you will be aghast to realize how eerily it resembles the present-day reality of coronavirus outbreak. Let's take the first phrase, sloping park, great calamity. Wuhan city of China is home to the sloping parks and sloping waterfronts where people can walk up to the rivers and lakes. 2 rivers that cut through the landscape of city make it highly recommended scenic attractions, mostly due to sloping parks. Spooky, isn't it? The phrase sloping park. Was Nostradamus foretelling the location from where disease outbreak will happen? And was the phrase the great calamity a reference to coronavirus pandemic? Did he know? Take the second line, through the lens of West and Lombardy. Lens of West clearly means Europe and USA. So did the French mystic prophesied in his times that the biggest damages of 21st century pandemic will be to the Western countries? Take a look. On 3rd April 2020, fatalities reported from Italy 13,917, Spain 10,003, United States 6,053, France 4,503, Iran 3,160, United Kingdom 2,921, and the list goes on. Highest fatalities from the Western countries. Let's see another word that he mentioned, Lombardy. Lombardy is the name of a city in Italy. The initial most infection cases of Italy were reported from Lombardy. The Lombardy cluster of infected persons became the biggest in Italy, pushing it to a community spread stage, killing thousands of people within days. Did the French seer know exact places where this pandemic will have its maximum impact? To the extent that he could even name the cities in particular. Consider the phrase, fire in the ship. The news of 3rd April 2020 says, on Monday morning, the US Coastal Guard responded to a fire on board cruise ship. The ship was 150 miles south of San Diego when a fire was discovered in engine room. Crews extinguished the fire, but smoke remained in the area for several hours. So the next phrase, plague and captivity, could simply imply COVID-19. Captivity may stand for lockdown, curfews and stay-home impositions. Entire world looks like living in captivity within their own houses during these times. Let's analyze the last line. Mercury in Sagittarius, Saturn fading. On 9th of December 2019, Mercury enters Sagittarius. Yes, the planetary positions were such that Mercury entered the sun sign Sagittarius on 9th of December 2019. This is the exact time when coronavirus infection was spreading in Wuhan city and China was trying to hide the news from the world. Finally, on December 31st, 2019, China admitted to WHO that several cases of unusual pneumonia are being reported in Wuhan. Further, skywatchers know that on 10th of December 2019, Saturn was a fainter light. It looked pale next to Venus because Venus outshined Saturn by more than 60 times. So Saturn certainly was looking a little faded. Saturn fading. From these analyses and facts and research, I think we can claim clearly that Nostradamus had predicted the outbreak of COVID-19 centuries ago. He could see future. Nastradamus claimed to base his published prediction on judicial astrology, that is, the art of forecasting future events by calculation of the planets and stellar bodies in relationship to the Earth. Nostradamus' most debatable prediction is the military invasion of Europe by an Islamic alliance of nations in the early 21st century. Iran and Turkey are mentioned most often, along with many other Muslim nations that unite to invade southern and western Europe. United States is initially unable to help. Nostradamus repeatedly tells us that the war between Islam and Christianity progresses slowly into world war lasting about 27 years in total. It could go nuclear much sooner. At least 4 cities will be nuked, including New York and Rome.
Thank you for listening into Arvind Rama's podcast service. Do come back for more as we shall be creating shared values by discussing issues related to several aspects of life by people from different backgrounds. You can connect with us on Facebook page Arvind Rama's podcast service.